What up, everyone? Timothy, time in refinement. What a beautiful day. You can tell it's raining. Another beautiful day in Arizona. Clouds are out, drizzling a little bit. Absolutely beautiful. Finally got my coat on. It's nice. Man, I do not talk about politics and religion on this channel, but I want to delve into my background a little bit and my work that I've put in since I've kind of stepped back from organized religion since last year. Haven't been to church in, it's been over a year now. And I really, when I say I step back from organized religion, I still believe in a creator. I still believe in God. However, it's changed drastically because I had this box around God. I had this box around my creator. And I had this box around religion, exactly what you're supposed to do. And the goal today is to show you how I've transpired in the past year as a person, how I've progressed. Because, man, when I was going to church and when I was really laser focused on exactly what I thought was black and white, I was so anxious, I was so judgmental, and I was so just inside my own head, and I really just wanted to sometimes tear my insides apart. And it was just wild. It was just nuts. So I never felt, I never felt close to a higher power until I really stepped back, from what I deemed was proper and true in religion in general. And I'm not going to bash on any type of stance or what others believe. This is not my point today. My point is just really stepping back from what I thought was true and proper and how I've treated other people since I've stepped back. I used to have a big heart for people. I used to have I was a big people pleaser, but almost in a narcissistic way. I would do things for others and I would be a disciple, if you want to call it that, to other people, but I always expected something in return because that's just human nature, right? And so, you would use all of these sayings, scripture verses, all of these different things to back up your beliefs, right? And so, again, stepping back from all of that and just relaxing and trying to figure out exactly what I believe, what my morals and values are, has just been scary. And I've been so fearful since last year. The anxiety really hit me last year when I took a step back. I had no idea what I was doing. I had no idea what I believed, where I was going, what I was doing with the business, all of that stuff. But after a few weeks, maybe it might have been a couple months, it all kind of subsided. And I was okay with not knowing. I was okay with not knowing exactly how my life was going to turn out, what the next day was going to hold. And I could go on and on and on. But the main thing that I learned and that I've been at peace with is really loving on people, really looking at their perspective in life, how they grew up, what their environment looks like, and what their environment continues to look like. And I've stepped away drastically from a judgmental aspect. And I've been more welcome and I've been more inclusive to people in my life because of this. And it's a crazy thing. It really is. I never thought I would get to that point in my life, but perhaps it was because I wasn't projecting. I haven't been projecting over the past year like I used to when I was a kid up until my mid-20s. Because let's face it, right? We have this thing that we abide by, this standard and this accordance. And if it doesn't go the way that we think, or people don't adhere to that exactly how we want them to, we're going to get defensive. We're going to get upset. we're going to get angry, we're going to get stressed, we're going to get anxious, we're going to get all that stuff. So for me, again, it's helped me to see others' perspectives. And I have some really good friends of mine that are very, very diehard Christians. That's awesome. I love them both very much. Their family is phenomenal. But they always got to see my side. They got to see my brother's side. They got to see these perspectives. And they didn't come from a judgmental aspect. So there is a balance, of course. But unfortunately for me, the main issue was I had everything in a box. I had everything wrapped up. I had exactly what I wanted the world to look like. And it didn't go according to plan. I had this box of people that I had. I placed people in this box, in this circle, in this square, whatever you want to call it. And if they didn't live how I wanted them to live, I would immediately write them off. I would never talk to them. I would distance myself. I would chastise them. I would judge them. I would get upset. And I would get more upset with myself because of how I portrayed them in my own head. It was a crazy spot to be in. It really was. It was a crazy spot to be in. So, again, my perspective, there's still anxiety, there's still stress, there's still worry on what happens and what happens in life. What happens when we die. But even the good Lord says, we don't know what tomorrow holds. So why are we focused on tomorrow when we just have today? We can focus on today. We can focus on who we can help today. We can focus on our goals today. Because we're not promised tomorrow. We don't know if we're going to be here tomorrow. This is all we have. We don't know if, as my brother said today, we don't know if we're going to be here in December. My buddy booked a trip back in May, or in May of next year. And everyone's all gung-ho. And I'm like, man, I don't know if we're going to be here tomorrow. So for those of you that are either questioning where you're at with religion, with God, just know that we're all doing our best. We're all trying to figure life out. And isn't that the beauty of life? The beauty of life is to not know. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. We don't know what this other person's going to say. We have a checklist, but at the end of the day, it's like, does it matter? Of course, values and morals and all that stuff matter. But I'm talking like how the world is perceived, how it's portrayed, how we're going to perceive it tomorrow. And it's given me more of an optimistic and more realistic view on how we all are as people, how we grew up, what our environments look like, what our parents looked like, whether they got divorced or they stayed together or they passed away. All of these factors shape how your life is. It all does. So for the person that grew up homeless and had to start from scratch, their perspective is going to be way different whether religion is involved or not. Their perspective is going to be way different than someone who grew up in a gated community in a house that didn't have to worry about bills and had a semi-loving family. That's just fact. It's not opinion. That's just fact. So we're all doing our best, right? We're all doing our best. Cut yourself some slack because we're all trying to figure life out. And it's such a beautiful thing to be able to see other people's perspectives on how they portray the world and how they perceive it. Because I swear I learn stuff all the time. I learn so much from someone who, again, grew up homeless, someone that grew up without a family, someone grew up with a family, someone that was the only child, someone that had siblings. All of these things. All of these things are environmental. So, for all that to say, all that rambling, it's helped me to take a step back and look at all that and internalize it and be like, hey, you don't have it all figured out. It's okay. Because really nobody else does either. And that is perfectly, perfectly fine. That's what I got today. I want to sit down, another beautiful night. have a little overcast. The landscape's actually pretty nice. So anyway, I love you guys. I appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for those that watch. I'm going to keep these rocking and rolling. And again, I keep telling myself that I need to get 2 and 3 of these going. Time gets away. I procrastinate it. So yes, time does matter. Tomorrow matters, but we have today. I need to focus on today to get stuff done tomorrow. Anyway, love you guys. Cheers.